This just broke Trump admin to withhold disaster funding for state cities that boycott Israel. Folks, it's one thing to deny funding for education if they use it for transgender brainwashing, or to withhold funding, from the medical system if they refuse to give surgeries to people that haven't taken shots, or fire nurses and doctors. But to say we're not going to give you disaster funding for a hurricane or tornadoes or a flood or an earthquake or wildfires, which then hurts everybody in the state because those state leaders boycott Israel, this is one of the most outrageous things. And I saw this break an hour ago, but I wanted to read the details. I've been doing that during the breaks. That I've heard. I mean, they're already going to blame Trump when there's hurricanes, saying he didn't do it right. I told you that. They're already doing it. They say, he didn't have the alert systems for Texas, which wasn't true. They did put out the emergency alerts with the flooding outside Austin, the hill country. This is insane. And I just call balls and strikes. The condition applies to at least $1.9 billion that states rely on to recover search and rescue equipment, emergency manager salaries, and backup power systems, among other expenses. The Trump administration said states and cities will not receive funding to prepare for natural disasters if they choose to boycott Israel companies, according to the agency statement. States must certify that they will not cut off commercial relations, specifically with Israel companies, to receive the money from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, according to the agency's terms of guarantees. Now, this is what the governor of Florida, who I like overall, is doing, what the governor of Texas is doing. San Marcos, a town south of Austin, big town, small city. They were talking about a resolution calling it genocide in Gaza. So they said, well, we're just going to pull state funding of any way from San Marcos. And so this is loyalty pledge. So I didn't want to go back into the Israel stuff, but it's just continual. This is the Jerusalem Post. Here's Reuters. U.S. links $1.9 billion in state disaster funds to Israel boycott stance. So for a foreign government, if people in our country and jurisdictions do things they don't like, now if there's a flood, well, you don't get anybody to come save the kids. FEMA funding will not be granted to pro-BDS areas. And now we had a trade deal with Canada. It was a good deal Trump did. That's going to be killed because they're going to, they have a resolution saying what's happening in Gaza is wrong and recognizing the Palestinian state. I'm going to say this again to Israel. And this is what Count Dankula said last hour. He thinks they're like secret Hitlers or something, because you couldn't come up with a plan to turn the world more against Israel. Count Dankula, what do you make of this?
I think it's hilarious, though, the fact that these people pay so much money in taxes for protection from the government, so that if a hurricane or a flood or any horrible catastrophe happens, the government has their back. But then even though they've paid their taxes for this very service, the government can say, actually, you have the wrong opinion, so you're not getting any of that stuff. You and your family can just get washed down the river, right? That's disgusting. That is vile. Basically, you're getting all that done to you because you have the wrong opinions. But in regards to Israel and stuff like that as well, it's just a government doing a government thing. So basically, Israel is a very honest government. It's just doing exactly what it wants to do. Right, the American government, especially the deep state, the British government wishes it could do that stuff. Israel, I just see it as one of the most honest governments in the world. Screw you, we're going to do whatever the hell we want.